All right, this is lesson 9.5. Here's the deal. We're dealing with circles. How many of you, like, your favorite part of math is dealing with circles? Is it? So rare. Most people don't like dealing with circles. How come? What makes circles such a pain for people? It starts with a letter P and it ends with an I. Pi. What is pi? What is pi? It's a number, right? And pi is written like this, right? It's a Greek symbol. And what does it represent? Do you know? What is pi? It's an irrational number. If you don't know what that means yet, irrational means that there is no actual decimal. You cannot write this out. There's no end. It's like 3.141779508 and it goes on forever. It never ends. It is what you use. They've found a ratio to help us with circles, but it's an irrational number, and most people don't like to deal with decimals, right, when you're dealing with math anymore. Here's the deal. I'm going to go over this lesson, and I'm going to give you the basics really quick, okay? And then I'll show you how to do each one of the types of problems. And then I'm going to be done. I'm going to let you guys get started. If you need to look, if you're like, I don't remember how to do this, what should you do? You can watch YouTube again tonight. You can look in the book. I mean, there's a lot. You can go on to Khan Academy. I mean, this is stuff that I know you've done before. Finding the perimeter or the circumference of a circle and finding the area of a circle. I know you've done this. And so, me showing you this 17 times is not going to do us any good. I'm going to show you how to do it once. And then if you need to go back and look and remember how to do it again, that's what you can do. Y'all understand what I'm talking about here? Okay. Because it's the same procedure every time, whether you do it once or 50 times. It's the same thing. So I'm going to show you how to do it once. Here's the deal. Circles and circumference. What's another name for the circumference of a circle? Do you all know what the circumference of a circle is? What is the circumference of a circle? What is it? Here's my circle. I'm going to draw you a green circle. There it is. What is the circumference of a circle? Nope. What's the circumference, Sladen?
The circumference is...
No, I don't want you to read it. I want you to know it.
How long it is around the circle.
So give me another word for the circumference of a circle. Or?
Length.
Or the perimeter. It's the perimeter of a circle. Wouldn't you agree? It's the perimeter of the circle. It's the outside edge. How many edges are there on a circle? One. One. Right? It's one edge. Do you agree? One? Here's the thing about the circle. Okay. Couple of things. One, there are things that are like, what is that little line I drew there? Does anybody know what that's called? That's called a chord. Any line segment that goes from any part of the circle to any other part of the circle is called a chord. Sometimes they are very small, right? I mean, sometimes they are crazy small. Sometimes they take up a big chunk, right? Sometimes they go right through the center of the circle. The chord that goes through the center of the circle is a very important chord. That is called the diameter, right? The chord that goes through the center of the circle, right, is the diameter. One side of the circle to the other through the center of the circle, okay? Here's the deal. In order for you to find the circumference of a circle, all you need to know is the diameter of the circle. If you know how far it is from one side of the circle to the other, through the center, right? So right down the center, if you could find if you know the diameter, that red line that goes right through the center, then you can tell what the circumference is. The formula is, the circumference is the diameter times pi. The circumference is the diameter times pi. Pi is a number that never ends. So, I mean, if I was to actually have you get this exact, you'd be here until you're dead because it never ends. So we estimate. We do always estimate when we deal with pi. If you're estimating with decimals, most people will estimate pi to be, pi is 3.14. Okay, 3.14. Another way of writing pi, if you're dealing with fractions, is 22/7. Those are the two numbers you need to have memorized for pi. If you like using fractions, you would use 22/7. If you like using decimals, you'd use 3.14. Either way, it's an estimate. Do you understand what I'm saying? Either way, it's an estimate. There is no exact answer here. I'll tell you this. Let's do a couple of these. Well, let's do at least one. Let me erase this. No. Let's erase this. And we will do another circle here. And I'm going to tell you that the diameter of this circle is, I don't know. Let's say that it is 10 inches. Circle this big. Okay? And I want to know what the circumference of that circle is. What's the circumference mean again? What is the circumference? It's the perimeter. Perimeter is it's a distance. It's a length. Very good. It's a distance. It's like how much string would it take to wrap around this circle, right? It's a distance. Let's plug this in. Listen, you guys need to get used to this. See, the reason why this stuff kind of scares you is because you hate using pi and you don't like 3.14 or 22/7. But I'll tell you right now, when you have a formula, C equals d pi, you should be like, yes, I know the answer before it even starts. Because I'm telling you the formula. All you have to do is plug in the information to the formula and you have your answer. It is C equals diameter times pi. So let's plug it in. C equals, what's the diameter? 10 times, what's pi? 3.14. 3.14. Can I multiply 3.14 times 10? Anytime you multiply something by 10, 100, 1,000, what's the only thing I have to do? Move the decimal. It's getting bigger. It's being multiplied by 10, so I move the decimal over one space to the right. My answer is 31.4. The circumference equals 31.4. I'm done. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yes. Now, let's try another one. Let me try another one with you. This time, I'm going to draw our circle. And I'm going to tell you that, does anybody know what this thing here is called? What is the halfway from the center of the circle to the edge? What's that called? That's the radius. The radius is exactly half of the diameter. So if I was to do this and tell you that the radius was 5 inches, what's the difference between that and the question we just had?
Nothing.
Why not? Why is there no difference?
Because it's just added.
What's the diameter? Don't we need to know what the diameter is? Isn't the formula circumference equals diameter times pi? Mm-hmm. So have I told you what the diameter is here? Have I told you what it is? No. I told you what the radius is. Can you figure out what the diameter is? Yes. If the radius is 5 inches, what's the diameter? 10. Does that make sense? Okay, so if I gave you this problem and told you that this was 3 centimeters, how do I solve this? I just plug stuff in, right? So you go circumference equals, what's the diameter of this?
6.
It's 6 centimeters. Don't just write 3. Is 3 the diameter? No, 3 is the radius. 3 is the radius. 6 times 3.14. Right? Okay. What is 6 times 3.14? 18.84. Is my answer, should I go like this? So C equals 18.84. Am I done? No, why not? I didn't label it. If you don't label it, it's wrong, people. I'm going to mark it wrong every time. It's centimeters. 18.84 centimeters. Does that make sense? What's the most important thing on this entire page, for real? What is the only important thing on this page? Nope. 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 Let me put this in a bright purple for you. Can I do that? Let me see if I can't get this in a nice bright purple for you. Oh, red's good. Red is good. That thing. What is that thing? It's a formula. It tells you your answer. It's telling, what do you have to do? If you have a formula, what's the only thing you have to do? Plug it in. Plug in what you know. Do you know what the diameter of the circle is? You should. Do you know what pi is? Yeah. Oh, so can you figure out easily what the circumference is? Yeah. People, starting in algebra, there is a formula that you are going to have memorized. Would you like to see it? That is called the quadratic formula. Minus b plus or minus the square root of the quantity b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. And when people see that at the beginning, they're like, oh my goodness gracious, that's the most, doesn't that look crazy and insane and like impossible? Did you know that there is lots of ways to solve a quadratic equation? And the last way that I show them is this. And then after that, do you know what way they use? I mean, always. You know why they use this? Because it's so easy. Do you know why this is so easy? Because it's a formula. And all you have to do is plug stuff in. All you have to do is plug stuff in. And then you're like, oh, this is really easy. Oh. You understand what I'm talking about? Formulas make your life easy. They give you the answer. All right. That's really it, people. That's really it. There's no, what if some of these questions ask you this. They'll ask you, if the radius is 4, then the diameter is 8. Is that hard? What's the radius mean again, Ellie? What's the radius? Where is the radius? Now describe it for me. Using words, describe the radius. I think you know it. Come on. Middle of the circle to where? To the edge. Which edge? What if I have this? Do you agree that's the middle of the circle? They call it the center of the circle, right? The center. Does it have to go right here? Could it go over here?
Yes.
Oh. What about, could it go here? Mm-hmm. Oh, right? It's just, so it's the center of the circle to any edge, right? To the circle. It's the center of the circle to the circle. That's the radius, right? What's the diameter? Use words. Joy, tell me what the diameter of a circle is. Using words. Don't look. I really want you to... Eyes up here. You can do this. Think. The diameter of the circle is what? Come on. Come on. Don't look. Think. I know you can. Can you see it in your head? Can you see the diameter in your head? Somebody else, using words, not reading out of the book. Caleb, you're not going to read? Okay, tell me. What is the diameter of a circle?
Middle of the circle.
What do you mean middle of the circle? So tell me.
Center, like the line that divides the circle half and half.
True. Use better words. Come on, somebody. Donovan.
The lines that cross the center of the circle.
Close. You say the line. That's not true. What's the word, Morgan? Okay, a chord that. Don't say middle. Center of the circle. A chord that goes through the center of a circle. Right? Listen, if I have, is that a diameter? Is that a diameter? Why? Did it go across the center? Yeah, it did, right? Clearly, it went across the center, right? Is that a diameter? Yeah. Okay. Is that a diameter? Yeah. Okay. What about here? Yes. Okay. What about here? 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 Oh. Right? Any part of the circle, a chord that goes through the center is the diameter. They're all the same length. They're all the same length. Do you all understand? Okay. Let me give you your homework. Just pay good, close attention to the questions, and you will do fine. Okay, we have page 440 to 441, 3 through 17 even, and 26 to 29 even. You can do it.